should sort of go a little further back than it does. So the first is a protraction, retraction movement, and then we would clear that plane. The second could either be elevation depression or humeral internal and external rotation, but not of a muscle. It's again at just that plane. So those are not moving well, and even that's not moving well. So the shoulder is quite restricted in all those primary movements. The other thing we're going to look at is then sleeve rotation, which is that internal external, but this time you're doing it from here. And I'm going to tell you that when this clears, as we'll see very quickly, it'll roll very easily. What we'll do maybe tomorrow is when I do the revision, that's when we'll film it early. All this material will get filmed then. And then, of course, no twisting down, right? You almost think your arm doesn't do that. See, that doesn't twist down. Even if I turn it, and she's not allowing hardly any supination. So we have quite a restriction humerally, horizontally. So let's just walk through each piece. Now, the most consistent way to do this is going to be one of two ways. It's either going to be humeral compressions in the joint or using the modified low-load METs. And I'm going to go first with the METs. So, ease and bind, ease is forward, bind is back. So that makes it easy. I pull that forward, she'll pull back against me just a little bit. Yeah, perfect. Breathing, don't drop it as you do it. Yeah, that's it. Release, and you give it a little pull, and already you can see that that's starting to open. I might now place it back. When I do, I put my palm over the breast tissue of the pectoralis, and the push isn't just the humerus forward, it's more like the pectoralis shoulder blade forward. So push me here, yeah, release, and then I push me back. That's that pec minor, isn't it? There we go, you can hear another click. Now we check the roll, and you see the roll has changed, hasn't it? And now you're almost getting a glimpse of a roll down, but you've been very stuck there. So now I'm going to take the roll. The next position either would be elevation, depression, or roll. I'm going to go with the roll. And now we have the first bit of a combination of things that are going to happen, because when you roll, you can either isolate here, or you can isolate here and you realize you've got a pronation supination. So maybe we stay first with the first one. So we isolate, that means I have to hold her elbow a bit, and she's going to roll her shoulder back that way. Yep, release. And then I give that sort of a turn in the socket. And then we check it again. Yeah, that's better. We're starting to stir it more. There's more, and there's the beginning of the roll down now that she hadn't had at all. Now what I'll do is I'll come back up here, and I'll sit with it and put it across my knee, and I might now play with the elevation depression. So ease is elevation, bind is depression. We hold it in elevation. She'll now attempt to push back down, a little too hard. Release. I'll move that there. And now I'm feeling like I want to do more capsular compression now. Sort of open enough movement to take the capsule. So there is a horizontal capsular compression that's going to begin to move into a vertical or semi, whatever this position is called. And with me kind of trying to play where I need to place it. Now, you want to keep it as a long lever. See, it kind of let me find the spot. And where I've got the compression now is I'm pushing the humerus slightly forward, but also down. That feels good, doesn't it? Yeah. And as it releases, there's the click in it. Let's take, there we go. There's the second click. That was all that lat movement. Let's take it for a spin. Let's see what we've got. And now we're feeling it's more forearm, aren't we? Holding the rest of the movement. Let it rest a second. That's a good resting point before I do forearm and wrist. After I do forearm and wrist, I'm going to take it and go vertical, and I'm going to stir the scapula, and I always have the image of a martini. Shaken, no, stirred but not shaken. Okay? So, I don't know why, but that's what I think. Now, we can feel, because of the manual therapy aspect, the other great restriction is supination. It just doesn't turn. You feel it doesn't want to do that. You're really quite pronated. Like we did a sleeve twist, we're going to do a joint twist. And you can feel me now playing that. Now we're getting, and now I may have to sort of position a little different position because you're not sure what we're at. There's something going on here now. All right, so we can start with one or both. Let's start with one. I need the twist to go that way. Yeah, release, and then I do that, back and forth. That's a little better, isn't it? It's changed this twist. So now, a little tricky here, young lady. Your elbow's not happy at all, is it? Okay, so what the elbow's telling me is I've got to do a tad bit of localized ligament work before I can pick up the line again at the shoulder. So,
I must say the arm is kind of nonsense. It's not just my arm, but the arm needs more attention than the leg.
yeah, I get that. So I'm gonna hold this position, and I want this to push that way, lightly release, and I'm gonna give that little click if that's okay. There it is. There, full extension now. There we go. There goes the shoulder. The elbow was holding that, and even now the twist is improved. So that was a low force mobilization technique. And now I'm going to clean it up more at the wrist. So the wrist is going to go into, this is easy, she's going to go into bind, right, too hard, yeah, perfect, release. Still not where we want it. Oh, there it is, scaphoid styloid. Okay, there we go. Now we're getting that. So now I can take it into a vertical position. And for the first time, then what we do is sort of do this, we bring that down, and now I start feeling the capsule itself in this AP moves, and verticalization and compression, just like we did at the hip. Tension is bind, compression is ease. From the shoulder where I'm holding, she'll push to the ceiling, release. I'll go back. Oh, I got another click out of that. And then I hold him in the rotated position, and I let her do a Queen's Parade wave.
Awesome.